The accident that changed everything. Jason was a young human soldier, posted on a peace mission to the outer edge of the galaxy. He was brave but tired. The galaxy was not peaceful, and humans were still new to space politics. One day, while traveling through an alien sector, his team was attacked by raiders, strange pirates who hunted royal convoys. Jason's ship crashed on a desert moon. Dust filled the air. His body was hurt badly. His team had scattered, and he was left alone, bleeding in the sand, with no way to call for help. Suddenly, from behind a glowing rock, a group of royal guards appeared. In the middle of them was a tall alien girl, skin like polished gold, eyes shining bright purple, and a long silver robe flowing in the wind. She looked royal, almost glowing. Her name was Serena. She was a princess of the planet Vilaria, traveling in secret to avoid attention. But the raiders had found her too. Jason didn't know who she was, but he could tell she was important. When more raiders came to attack her guards, Jason pulled himself up and grabbed his weapon. He fought beside her guards, even though he was weak. He was shot again, this time in the chest. He fell, blood pouring from his mouth. The guards won the fight, but Jason was dying. Serena rushed to his side. Her guards shouted, "He's just a human. Let him die." But she knelt beside him, looking into his eyes. His heartbeat was slow. He had minutes left. "There's only one way," she whispered. "My blood. It heals." The guards warned her, "He's not one of us. You know the law." But she didn't listen. She bit her wrist and let a drop of her glowing purple blood fall into Jason's mouth. First, nothing happened. Then his body jerked. His chest rose. His wounds closed slowly, as if time moved backward. His breathing returned. His eyes opened. Jason blinked. His pain was gone. He sat up confused and saw the alien girl staring at him in shock. What just happened?" he asked, his voice weak. Serena stepped back. Her hands were shaking. You drank my blood," Jason frowned. "You saved my life. Thank you." "No," she whispered, her voice full of fear and surprise. "You don't understand what that means." Jason looked at her, still dizzy. "What does it mean?" She looked around, making sure no one else heard, and leaned close. "On my planet," she said slowly, "if someone drinks royal blood, it means they are now my mate, for life." Jason froze. "Wait, what?" Serena's voice was serious. "You are now bonded to me. You are tied to my soul. That is the law of my people. You are my chosen one." Jason laughed nervously. "That has to be a joke." But she didn't laugh. Her eyes were full of something between fear and duty. Jason looked around at the alien guards. They were whispering. Some looked angry. Others looked shocked. "This can't be real," he whispered. Serena stood. "You need to come with me. They will not forgive this. A human is not welcome in the royal bloodline." Jason tried to stand. His body was still weak, but her blood had changed something inside him. He felt different, stronger, faster, like his senses had sharpened. "I didn't ask for this," he said. "Neither did I," she replied, "but now we are bound. And my people will come for you. Some will try to kill you." Jason stared at the alien princess. She was beautiful, but she was also dangerous. She had just saved his life and ruined it too. He didn't know what to do. All he knew was that his life had just changed forever. And the worst part? It wasn't over yet. The blood bond law of her planet. Jason stared at the horizon as the twin suns of Vilaria began to rise. The sky turned a soft gold, but there was no peace in his heart. He had survived death, but now he was trapped in something even more confusing. He had bonded with an alien princess by drinking her blood, and he still didn't understand what that meant. Serena walked beside him in silence. They had escaped into the deep crystal canyons of her planet. Her royal guards had stayed behind. To buy them time, Jason didn't even know their names, but he remembered their angry faces. They looked at him like a curse had entered their holy bloodline. Jason finally broke the silence. "Tell me what this bond really means. I deserve to." No, Serena stopped walking. She turned to him, her violet eyes serious. "On Valaria, my blood is sacred. It is more than just life, it is power. Only a chosen one may drink it, and once they do, their soul becomes tied to mine." Jason frowned. "But I didn't know. You gave it to me. I was dying." Serena nodded. "I know. That's why I gave it, but the law does not care about why. The law only cares that it happened." He rubbed his forehead, trying to think clearly. "So, what does this bond do exactly? Am I cursed now?" Serena's voice dropped to a whisper. "No, you're not cursed, but you are mine, and I am yours. The bond means we are life mates. In your words, husband and wife." Jason took a step back. "Wait, what?" "The bond is spiritual and physical," she said. "It links our emotions. If you are in pain, I will feel it. If I die, you will die too. And soon, others will sense the bond. My people, my enemies, my sister." Jason shook his head. "I never agreed to this." Serena looked down. "Neither did I." They walked again, deeper into the canyon. Strange glowing plants lit the path. Jason's body felt strange-like. Energy was moving under his skin. He could hear things from far away, smell things he never noticed before. "What's happening to me?" he asked, voice tense. Serena hesitated, then said, "My blood is changing you, slowly. You may gain strength, senses, speed, but it comes with risk. Human bodies are not made for royal Valerian blood." Jason clenched his fists. "So I'm turning into what? A monster?" "No," she said quickly. "Something more, something rare. But your body must accept it. If not, it will break." Jason sat down on a stone, breathing hard. He didn't ask for any of this. He only wanted to finish his mission and go home. Now he was bonded to an alien princess, hunted by her people, and his body was becoming something else. Serena sat beside him. For the first time, she looked sad, almost human. "I was supposed to marry a noble prince. It was already arranged, but now that you've bonded with me, that marriage is forbidden." Jason glanced at her. "Do you want that? To marry someone else?" She didn't answer right away. "I wanted peace, a quiet life, but now, everything has changed." Jason sighed. "So what do we do now?" "We must reach the Temple of Truth," she said. "Only there can the bond be judged fairly. If the priests approve it, you may live. If not," she stopped speaking. Jason looked at her. "If not, they will separate our souls by force, and that may kill us both." The wind howled through the canyon. Jason stood slowly. "Then, we better get moving." Serena nodded. "You're stronger than I thought, human." Jason gave a small smile. "Yeah? I thought you hated me." "I don't hate you," she said softly. "I fear what we've become." They walked on, two souls tied by accident, hunted by tradition, and facing a future neither of them had asked for. And far behind them, in the capital of Valaria, someone was watching. The queen had already heard the news, and she was preparing. For war, assassins, politics, and forbiddance love, the capital of Valaria stood tall and proud, its crystal towers glowing under the sky of twin suns. But behind the beauty, danger was growing. News had already spread across the palace. The princess had bonded with a human. Not just any human, but a low-ranking soldier from a distant planet. To many in the royal court, it was a shameful insult to their ancient bloodline. Jason didn't know any of this. He only knew they were being hunted. He and Serena traveled through the shadowed lands, caves, mountains, forests where the trees whispered. At night, Serena taught him about her world. By day, they hid from flying drones that searched the skies. Each day, Jason's body changed more. His hearing sharpened. His reflexes grew faster. He could see clearly in the dark. Her blood was rewriting his body, turning him into something not quite human anymore. But something else was changing too. The silence between them began to feel warmer. Serena no longer kept her distance. She watched him when he slept. She smiled when he joked. And once, when he helped her climb a ledge, her hand stayed in his for just a second longer than needed. Jason felt it too, but neither of them spoke about it. One night, just as they reached a broken Valerian shrine to rest, Jason suddenly froze. "Someone's here," he whispered. Serena's eyes widened. "How do you know?" "I don't know how. I just do." Seconds later, shadows moved. A blade flashed in the moonlight. Assassins. Valerian assassins. They wore the black armor of the Silent Order warriors trained since childhood to kill without mercy. Jason pulled Serena behind him. His body moved too fast. His hands caught a blade in the air. He twisted and threw the attacker down. Another came from behind. Jason turned without thinking and knocked him out cold. Serena watched in shock. That was impossible. Jason's chest heaved. "They were here for you." "No," she said, voice shaking. "They were here for us." One assassin wasn't dead. He pulled off his helmet, coughing blood. "You ruined everything," he growled. "A human cannot sit beside royalty. This bond is a disease." "The Queen will never allow it." Jason stepped closer. "The Queen sent you?" The assassin laughed. "Not just the Queen. There are many who fear what you two represent. A human tied to our future ruler? It will tear the council apart." Serena looked away. She already knew. Jason picked up the assassin's blade, then let them fear. They left the shrine before dawn. As they walked, Serena finally spoke. "You should leave. There's a ship waiting in the outer plains. It could take you home." Jason didn't reply. "I won't be angry," she said. "You never wanted this bond. You didn't choose it." Jason stopped. "You didn't choose it either, but you stayed." "I stayed because I had no choice," she whispered. He looked at her gently. "Maybe now. We both choose." Serena's eyes filled with emotion. She turned away quickly. But the moment had already passed between them. Back in the palace, Serena's sister stood before the council. Her voice was cold as ice. "This human has poisoned our future. The bond must be broken." The Queen looked tired. "It is not so simple. The bond is ancient. If the people see us ignore it, they will lose faith in our law. Then we must test the bond," the sister said. "We challenge it through the trial." The room fell silent. No one had passed the trial in 100 years. And now, a human would be the next to face it. Jason didn't know it yet. But soon, he would be standing in an arena where blood spoke louder than words. And Serena would be forced to watch. The secret about her blood. Jason woke up in the middle of the night, gasping for air. His heart was pounding, his skin burning hot. He stumbled out of the tent, hands on his knees, sweat dripping down his face. The stars above looked too bright. The ground beneath him felt like it was moving. Serena ran out after him. "What's happening?" Jason shook his head. "I don't know. I can't breathe. I feel like something inside me is growing." Serena knelt beside him, placing a hand on his back. Her touch was cold, calming. But Jason's body was changing, and it wasn't just strength or speed anymore. His veins glowed faintly under his skin. His eyes were reflecting starlight like a Valerian. Serena looked worried. More worried than ever before. You should have told me earlier, Jason said, trying to catch his breath. Your blood, it's doing more than healing me, isn't it? Serena didn't answer. Jason grabbed her wrist gently. Tell me the truth. She looked away, ashamed. My blood doesn't just bind souls. It awakens what's hidden inside. Most Valerians use it during bonding rituals to awaken their true forms. But you're human. I didn't know what it would do to you. Jason stood up slowly, eyes filled with pain and anger. So I might die, or become something not even human anymore. She nodded. Yes, if your body cannot balance the energy, it will destroy itself, and I won't be able to stop it. Jason turned away, walking toward the cliff's edge. He stared down at the valley below. This just keeps getting better, he muttered. I'm hunted, hated, and now my own body is falling apart. Serena followed. You have a choice. He looked back at her. What choice? There's a ritual. It's forbidden, but it could stabilize the blood inside you. But it's dangerous. And it will change you permanently. You'll never be fully human again. Jason laughed bitterly. And if I don't do it, you'll die before the trial, she said softly. Jason clenched his fists. You knew this all along? I suspected, she said, but I didn't want to believe it. I hoped you'd be strong enough. Jason's voice rose. You gambled with my life. Serena didn't flinch. I saved your life. I gave you mine when everyone else wanted you to die. That wasn't a gamble. It was a choice. There was silence between them. Finally, Jason sighed. Where is this ritual? In the caves of Shakur, she said. It's far and guarded. But we still have time before the trial begins. Jason looked at her for a long moment. Then he nodded. Let's go. They packed their things and left before the sun rose. As they walked, Jason's body continued to shift. His hands sparked with strange energy. His heartbeat slowed but felt stronger. He could hear Serena's heartbeat next to his. He could feel her emotions as if they were his own. She was scared. He didn't blame her. He was scared too. But what scared him most was not the change. It was the truth forming in his heart. He didn't want to leave her anymore. Hours later, in the palace, Serena's sister held a blade over a glowing orb. Her eyes burned with jealousy and hate. The human is growing stronger, she said. That should not be possible. The queen sat silent, thoughtful. The bond is deeper than we feared. The sister leaned closer. Then we must stop it. Before the trial, because if he survives, the people might accept him. The queen opened her eyes. Then he must not survive. She chose him. Now her people turned on her. The temple of Shakur stood like a wound carved into the heart of a black mountain. Its entrance was hidden behind a waterfall of glowing mist, and no one went there unless they were desperate. Inside, old spirits whispered. Through the walls, and ancient flames never died. Jason walked into the temple with Serena at his side. His body trembled not from fear, but from power. Her blood had awakened something deep within him, and after the secret ritual, he was no longer the same. His strength had doubled. His vision was sharp as a blade. He could feel time slow in moments of danger. But inside, he still didn't feel whole. He was still human. But also something else. As the ritual ended, the old temple keeper stepped forward. His face was like stone, and his voice cracked like dry wood. The bond is now complete, he said. He is no longer just a guest. He is one of us. Serena looked at Jason with soft eyes. You survived it. That means the bond was true. Jason nodded. Then why do I feel like this is just the beginning? She didn't answer. Outside the temple, a royal guard waited with bad news. The queen has summoned you, he said coldly. And you, human. are now to be judged by the Council of Thrones. Jason's hand reached for his weapon, but Serena stopped him. We'll go, she said. We must face this. They arrived at the Capitol under heavy guard. Crowds gathered. Some pointed. Some spat. Others just stared at Jason as if he were a walking curse. They had never seen a human walk side by side with a princess. They had never seen their future queen bonded to an outsider. Inside the royal court, lights flickered with power. The queen sat on her throne like a statue carved from gold. Her eyes locked on Jason with quiet fury. Beside her stood Serena's sister, smiling with fake sweetness. She had waited for this moment. Serena stepped forward. Her voice echoed across the chamber. I chose him. I did not plan the bond, but I accept it. I stand with him. Gasps filled the room. Jason looked at her, stunned. She had said it clearly, without fear. One of the council lords stood. You break tradition. You break law. You risk our future. Serena raised her chin. Then let the trial decide. A silence heavier than stone fell over the room. Her sister stepped forward. You dare speak of the trial? Do you even know what that means for him? Serena replied, yes, and he's ready. Jason didn't speak, but he stood tall. If this was the price of her loyalty, he would pay it, no matter the cost. The queen finally spoke. Then so be it. The trial of fire and spirit begins in 3 days. If the human lives, the bond stands. If he dies, your disgrace ends with him. The guard stepped in. Jason was taken to the warrior chambers where champions prepared for battle. Monsters, blades, and deadly tasks awaited him. That night, Serena visited him once more. They stood behind stone, bars only inches apart. I had a future before you, she whispered. It was cold, planned, and full of lies. But now, I would rather fall from power than let them take you from me. Jason touched her hand through the bars. Then I'll give them no chance. She smiled, but her eyes were wet. Don't die, Jason. He leaned forward. Not when I have something worth living for. From the highest tower, Serena's sister watched them. Her voice was sharp as... She spoke to the shadows behind her. Send the beast. Make sure the trial becomes his grave. Down in the dark, something huge roared. The trial had already begun. Trial of flame and blood, the arena was carved into the side of an ancient volcano, where smoke rose from deep cracks in the stone and the ground always felt hot beneath your feet. Thousands of Valerians had gathered, their glowing eyes fixed on the pit below. This was no sport. This was sacred judgment. Jason stood in the center, breathing slowly, feeling the heat sting his skin. His shirt was gone, his body marked with strange glowing lines from Serena's blood. He looked stronger than before, but deep inside, he still felt fear. Not of death, but of losing her. Serena sat high in the royal seat beside the queen, her hands clenched tight. Her heart pounded. She had broken the law by bonding with him. Now she was being punished in the cruelest way by watching the man she loved face death alone. A loud horn sounded. The ground shook. From the stone gates below. The trial beast was released. It was massive, taller than any man, covered in dark crimson armor plates, its eyes burning like coals. A fire serpent, bred for pain and destruction. No one had ever defeated one. Most never lasted a minute. Jason didn't move. The crowd whispered, he's frozen. He doesn't stand a chance. Why did the princess waste her bond on a weakling? The beast charged. Jason waited, then moved, not like a normal human. He flipped over the creature's head, rolled across the burning floor, grabbed a fallen warrior's spear, and slammed it into the creature's shoulder. It roared and spun, tail whipping like lightning. Jason was thrown into a wall. Serena gasped. No, get up. Smoke rose. Blood dripped from his nose. His ribs cracked. But Jason stood out. The crowd went quiet. He was not fighting with strength alone. He was fighting with the bond. Every time he closed his eyes, he could feel her fear, her love. It lit a fire in him no flame could match. The beast roared again, angry now. It came with full fury. Jason rolled aside, pulled a chain from the ground, wrapped it around the beast's leg, and used its own weight to slam it into the wall. The arena trembled. The queen stood from her throne. Jason's body burned. His hands were cut, his leg bruised, but he didn't stop. He climbed onto the beast's back, grabbed the spear once more, and drove it deep into its neck. A final roar echoed through the valley. Then, silence. The beast collapsed. Jason stood on its body, breathing hard, barely able to stay on his feet. But he had won. The arena exploded in sound. Not cheers, but shock. No outsider had ever survived the trial of flame and blood. No human was supposed to last 10 seconds. Serena ran to the edge of the arena, her heart in her throat. Jason looked up at her and smiled weakly. "Told you I'd make it," she smiled back, tears falling. "You didn't just make it, you changed everything." From her throne, the queen remained silent. Her eyes, for the first time, showed something else. Respect. But not everyone shared that. Serena's sister watched from the shadows, her face twisted in rage. Her plans were falling apart. Her hate burned brighter than the arena flames. Later that night, when Jason lay in the healing chambers, Serena sat beside him, holding his hand. "You don't know what you did today," she whispered. "You didn't just survive. You gave hope to people like me, people who wanted more. Then rules. You gave us a future." Jason turned to her, his voice soft. "I didn't fight for a future. I fought for you." Outside, crowds still whispered. Inside, their bond had become something no law could break. But the greatest test still waited, because love had won the battle. Now they had to win the war. "Your blood runs in me, now." Forever. The city of Velaria had changed. Whispers filled every street, every crystal tower, every royal hall. The human had survived the trial of flame and blood. The bond between Princess Serena and Jason was no longer just rumor, it was real, witnessed by thousands, sealed in fire, blood, and courage. But the royal palace was not celebrating. Inside the queen's chamber, Serena stood tall, her hand in Jason's. His wounds were still healing, but he no longer walked like a broken man. There was strength in his step, fire in his eyes, and then her people could no longer call him weak. "You won the trial," the queen said calmly, "but victory does not mean acceptance." Jason raised his head. "Then what does?" The queen looked to Serena. "It depends on what she chooses now." Serena didn't hesitate. "I choose him, not out of law, not out of blood, but because I love him." The chamber fell silent. The queen closed her eyes for a moment. Then she said, "So be it. The council may scream, the nobles may threaten, but Velaria will not deny strength. And Jason has proven his soul." Jason felt the tension in his chest release, like a heavy chain falling away. But in the crowd beyond the chamber, Serena's sister stood alone. Her face was pale, her plans ruined. The bond had survived every attack. Her power was fading. "I won't let this end like a fairy tale," she whispered to herself. That night, in the quiet of the royal garden, Serena and Jason walked together under the twin moons. The flowers glowed softly. Alien birds hummed like stars breathing. It was the first time in days they were alone. Jason stopped near a silver fountain and looked at his hands. "Sometimes I still feel like I'm dreaming." Serena stepped closer. "And sometimes I feel like I'm waking up." He turned to her. "Your blood runs in me now. I feel your thoughts, your pain, your joy. It's like we're one." She touched his chest. You carry part of my soul, and I carry yours. Jason took a deep breath. Do you think they'll ever accept us? Serena smiled. Some already have. Others will follow. Change is slow, but the bond is stronger than fear. He held her face gently. Then I don't care what happens next. As long as I have you. Their lips met under the moonlight, not bound by law, but by choice. From the shadows, Serena's sister watched one last time, her eyes filled with tears she didn't understand. Hatred had failed. The bond had bloomed. And the people were already beginning to whisper the impossible. The human is one of us now. Days later, a statue was placed in the great hall of Valaria. 2 figures carved in silver stone, one human, one royal standing hand in hand, eyes facing the stars. And below, an inscription in both Earth's language and Valerian, bound by blood, chosen by love, forever one. Jason and Serena didn't need thrones. They had each other. And that was enough to rewrite the future.